What is happening, y'all? Welcome back. Let's pop the magic potion, and it is go time.
To my side, my noble inheritance.
Got him.
Half celestial sphere, sentence guilty. Divine assault, Nivalag Valkyrie.
Alright, we got our stat boost. I'm gonna put up this one. The other thing, forgot to do I want the extra holy damage going into him constantly.
To my side, protect my noble inheritance.
Ow.
I'll leave the stragglers to you.
We also put on this thing, just so I had a single cost.
Victory is within your grasp. And fulfill your
I hope this is as far as I go.
Feed on my warrior.
Oh shit, what the fuck was that? Holy shit, what did he do to me?
Egon, I require your blade.
This is the true work. I'll be standing here.
I've fulfilled my... Christopher, it is up to you. I cannot just stand by. I've fulfilled my duty. Christopher, dominate the battlefield.
Damn, a lot of fucking work to get off a hill.
I'll leave the stragglers to you. Egon, my warrior.
Done my part.
Egon, I require your blade. I have done as I was bid. Come forth. I'll show you.
Bro, stop running.
Egon, I summon you to battle.
Pop that. Pop this.
Igor, I summon you to battle.
Ooh, there we go. That could be it.
Do what you must to defeat the enemy. The tide turns now. I'll leave the stragglers to you. Take this.
Boom! Oh.
Impressive. That soul of yours has surpassed all my expectations. But to lose you in such a manner is truly unfortunate.
Ew. Half horse face,
What
Odin?
fools you are, defying the gods. Sing in harmony. Go all out. Hark, Celestial. Divine assault. Nivalam Celestial.
So that's on, heals on. That's just the straight nuke, and then I don't know what else would be a good one, maybe to.
Egon, I require your blessing. Let's go. I can answer myself. I will handle it.
Oh wait, he changed his elements. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Turn the tide of this battle. Okay, let me take a look. Show them the power of an Enrich. Egon, I require your blade. I shall claim victory.
I'll pick up the ones in the distance.
I've done my part.
I've fulfilled my duty.
The double crush. We got the double crush off.
The song of ice beckons the end.
Requesting your aid, Valkyrie.
Victory is within your grasp. Such a foolish error. My blade. Foolish error. I can handle this alone.
didn't go off. Big rip in chat.
Fight at my side. Let's finish this.
You want to play with fire? You might get burnt, asshole.
I'll leave the dragon to you. Now! Let's finish this swiftly. Victory is within your grasp. Come forth.
Fire again. Oh, there we go.
I can think no greater honor than to serve you. Now! The glory. Heal! May you find strength in battle.
As soon as the immunity's down, we're gonna mess his shit up.
Victory is within your grasp. Take care of this. Now! For glory. Victory is within your grasp. Fight at my side. The tide takes you. Dominate the battlefield. Let's finish this.
Die. Oh.
You do not understand. My duty as All-Father. I have failed.
That's a lot of soul juice.
Incredible. Creating a new world would certainly be possible with this much power. So, what do you intend to do with it?
The only thing that we can do. The gods were foolish in neglecting their duty. They let greed blind them and used the souls for their own gain. But if we can give all of it back to the tree...
I expected nothing less of you.
Alright, that's definitely her hand. That's not a glove.
I guess this is it then.
Egon. Cypher. Christopher. Tiger. I'm sorry.
It's all part of saving the world, isn't it? No need to apologize.
If all souls must return, then we too are destined for that fate.
Please do not be saddened. We each carried an unbearable regret, but because of you, we were saved from an eternity of torment.
The world is saved. and we will be reborn. There's no better outcome than that. We had a good run. I hope we get to meet again. Someday.
Thank you. So then, what shall we do now?
I believe you still have unfinished business on Midgard.
Well, but there is no time for...
No excuses. Go. I'll take care of the rest.
Hilde, it was because of you that we were able to right the wrongs that have plagued the world. Thank you.
I should be the one thanking you, Nora.
Will the world ever go back to normal?
It'll all be okay, Nora. As long as we have hope, we can do just about anything.
Hope. You're right. I think we'll be okay. This world belongs to everyone now.
And we have reached the end. Oh, man. I'm gonna be honest, that game kind of overstayed its welcome a little bit. So, let's talk about it. Now, obviously, I've never played any of the Valkyrie games, the Valkyrie Profile, or whatever the previous ones are, so I don't have the past understanding of it. From a pure gameplay perspective, it wasn't too bad if we consider it as, like, you know, this is just, it's a hack and slash. You know, the base combat I mentioned way back near the start, very reminiscent of like Dynasty Warriors, you know, like you go square, triangle, square, square, triangle, square, 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 triangle, and you could, you know, build up. I will say I didn't like that even all the way advanced that every weapon was the same. Like I thought maybe the end of the trees would start to branch out a little bit. But instead, you know, after we had our basic combos covered, it was like, okay, well now here's, this is a jump combo. This is the dash combo. This is a, you know, like, that was kind of dumb. It would have been nice for a weapon that has to have a little bit more diversity versus like, here's your dodge combos, here's your jump combos. Like, that should have been included just in the base. Speaking of diversity, man, we should have had access to the Enrich moves way sooner. Way sooner. I think part of the problem is so the way I approached the game, obviously, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do zone 1 and then do zone 1 side quests. I'm gonna do zone 2 and then do zone 2 side quest, which I think made sense, but the game should have like pushed you towards getting your main characters and getting all of them, because once you have all 4 of them, then you're starting to see their quests open up and whatnot. But even then, I feel like the quests that allowed me to pick up their abilities, I feel like we didn't see a lot of those until later. Like, I think everyone had their first, I think, when we were 1 chapter after them. And then I think the second and third tiers kind of like doubled up on each other. So it wasn't until like chapter 8 that I was able to fully level them up and have all their stuff, which at that point we were basically at the end of the game. I think it doesn't really make sense to backload a bunch of shit like that, because like let us play with these abilities. You have abilities, let us play with them sooner. That makes more sense. Doesn't make sense to like hide them all till you're close to the end. Speaking of stuff that was not hidden, was the enemies. Oh god, dude. And that's probably, I think, one of my biggest gripes here. Is I get that it's a hack and slash, but there was a big lack of enemy variety. I think we had like, god, it was probably less than 10. Because I mean, you had basic soldiers, you had the basic tree people or whatever you wanted to call them. You had the floaty dudes that would do the curses. You had the elemental dudes. You had the dogs. You had golems. You had golem with sword and shield. Weird body grabber man. The Leviathan looking dudes. The trees. That's 10. Like that might be it. I don't think there's this post credit. Let me just skip, see what happens. The fate of the world. Completed chapter 9. Hard. B rank. B rank? I got a B rank? I have 1 death and they gave me a B rank? It's whack. What is it doing? Come on. Let me I'm trying to look at stuff, man. I'm gonna go to my compendium and look at enemies. So yeah, I think part of the problem is, now that we're here, we have 4 attacks and then 4 normal moves for each, along with their stuff. But a lot of this, we don't get access to it until like the very end of the game, basically, which it just kind of sucks. I would have liked to have that stuff earlier, and I would have liked to have gotten all of them much faster, so they could have been a little bit better distributed. Oh god, I'm so tired. A little bit better distributed in terms of how their stat thresholds were leveling up, because I mean, he's at 1600 attack. That's more than his physical and magical put together. She is barely catching up, and she's been on auto summon like since I got her. That's more than her by far. She was the last one. Back to what I was saying. Armand, Odin's avatar, and Odin's a bitch. So we have sops. Like, this is all, I don't care. It's all sop. So we have sops. We have these guys. We'll just call them knights. I mean, there's the archer knight, but it's still just a knight. We have these things, punishers. The golems. The gargoyles. I forgot the gargoyles, so that's 5. The elementals. Wolves. Those things. Dragons, so that's 9. Trees would be 10. Big boys would be 11. Krakens would be 12. Wow, 12. 12, and I mean, it's like I'm sorry, when you just take the Kraken and just give it a different color scheme, that's not a new enemy. That's still fucking Kraken. It's still a Kraken. It's a Kraken with different attacks. So we had 12 different enemy types and some varying color schemes between them. To be fair, I know my time played isn't accurate, because what I noticed about halfway through playing is I sat like this, like look at, so 2950. If I sit at this window, which I thought this was like, PlayStation pause time. Yeah, no. No, it's not. That's going to keep ticking. So my 29 hours, it's not accurate at all. A better indication would be, let's see, 33 episode series. So 33 episodes times 30 minutes per episode divided by 60. 17-ish hours of gameplay, maybe 20 if we consider the time that I had to spend getting out of missions when I was stuck. Anyway, other stuff. I like that we could max out the skill tree. The acquired skills and figuring out what we turn on and what we turn off didn't really matter at all. It was completely irrelevant. Auto summon was interesting. What else? What else? Yeah, I already mentioned the weapons. You should have been able to buy consumables somewhere. It made no sense that they like hid them and kept them stored. This spell, this thing. One of the things that threw me off the most is at the very end we get access to this super cool spell and an alternate version of it. These are badass. The problem is that there's no reason aside from the cost to not just constantly use this. And on top of that, we only get it at the very end of the game. It to me, this feels like if I was playing Final Fantasy VII and I got to the end and then the only thing I did was Omni Slash. That's it. I never attacked or anything, just Omni Slash. What would have been nice, and I think preferable with a game like this, with a hack and slash, have this based around your combos, you know? Like if once your combo chain hits 300 plus, you can do like triangle and circle and do Nibelung Valesti 1. If you get over 500, you do Nibelung Valesti 2. If you get over 700, you get over, you know, there would have been a third tier. I think that would have been a lot cooler, because then you would actually have a reason to work towards these combo chains, and you'd actually see these cool finishers as you're fighting, but still have a reason to work in your magic here, as opposed to just, you know, oh, cool, I have an ultimate now, let me just spam this and wipe the board, you know? Like, that's silly. It's silly, and like, there was even part of me that was like, well, you know, it's kind of, I don't know why I'm using this, like, it murders everything, but at the same time, it wasn't worth me killing shit. Which on the note of spells, why? Give us, there absolutely should have been a second tab. There's no reason I can't have 8 Divine Arts if I can switch these in the middle of fucking combat. It is whack as shit. Oh, man. Anyway, story was pretty generic. You know, nothing about the story that I'm really like, oh yeah, this had me going. There are a couple parts that were good here and there. The graphics are pretty potato. I've been told that like this weird outline thing is a thing from the old series, but even then, I mean, like, the more I ran through this all, the more I noticed it. Like, man, this is copy paste central. It's like boom, 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 boom. Like, I'm pretty sure the castle that I made in V Rising had more detail than this throne room. Anyway, point being, I think if we were to bring it all home, wrap it on up, put a bow on it, and a score, I would probably put this in. If you're a big fan of hack and slash games, you could maybe give this a 7. But personally, I'm leaning more towards like a 6. Like, I think this is the longest I think I've ever played a mediocre game for. And I only think it's because there were a lot of cool ideas here with the weapon combos and the magic and the building up your arts meter to use the magic. There were a lot of ideas that I liked a lot, and it's stuff that I think with some, you know, feedback and iteration, I think this could have actually been like a really cool game if the combat had been tweaked just a little bit. But you know, that wasn't the case, and we can only rate what we actually have, so I'm dropping it with a 6 out of 10. Either way, the game is done, and I'm gonna figure out what's next, because I don't know what day this episode goes up, but either we have Plague Tale Requiem, or I'll have something spooky for you. Either way, I'm out. Y'all have a wonderful day, and adios.